Today is Thursday, June 10th, and this is week 5 in the garden. You can see all my flowers are planted up. They're looking so pretty. I love my zinnias in that next box. It is so pretty. And I've actually planted my butterfly bush that John saved from Dan's lawnmower accident with my in-ground butterfly bush. He rooted it, and so I've potted it up in my little landscape here. And I'll just give you an update on, look at this, my lemons. Hello, little lemon. Doesn't look like a lemon yet. It looks like a lime. They'll look like this until about October. Well, I mean, they get bigger, but the color. We got our roses planted in the ground. And we also got our muscadines in the ground. We are still working on our fencing. We're going to put a cattle panel back here to deter the deer from nibbling on our muscadines. So, but we got them in the ground in between all the rain. So I got a lot of new things planted this week. In my first box I had 2 cherry tomatoes, and they just weren't really thriving. So I took them out and I planted them on their side deep to try to get the roots to really take a better hold if it's going to do it, and see what happens. In all honesty, since I've done that, I think the plant looks better. And in this plant, I had a cucumber my friend gave me when I was planting them that got messed up, so I stuck him in there. And that's one of my pie pumpkins when I thinned them out that had good roots. I stuck it in there. So this is my will they grow bucket. And our blueberries are doing well, but my son came over. This was originally his blueberry bush, and he was looking on the leaves. So if you can see, because you may find this on your blueberry bushes, but if you see that purple, and I'm trying to find one, I thought there was one where it was in the veining. It may be better day because we actually gave it some fertilizer, and because he said this is usually the sign of an iron deficiency. So even though it's got lots of fruit, and he said that may be why, because it's put on its fruit and it's finishing them out, but just the same, something to look for in your blueberry plants. So when I took those other tomatoes out, the Celebrity was just toast. I think it got stunted, so I got a new one to give it a second chance, and this one's doing much better. I rescued these. They were a little bit more established, especially the 2 on the end. And this is a new cherry. That one is the Celebrity, and that is Aroma, which I'm really excited about. And I've also potted up some more hot peppers my friend Jessica gave me out here. And my pepper bed seems to be doing pretty good. Some of them look a little worse for the wear, but I have fertilized them, and once your leaves go kind of yellow, they won't go back to a darker green. And the ones that all kind of yellowed were ones that stayed in the pots way too long while we were building this, and we kept moving them in and out because we kept having those cold snaps. And peppers don't like cold at all. They're a hot loving plant. So I was afraid they might be toast, but I've been fertilizing them, and the new growth is actually looking pretty good. The greener ones are newers that I put in, and all these are a variety of bell, lunchbox peppers, candy cane peppers, and a few banana peppers, sweet banana peppers in there, because these are all sweet peppers. You want to keep your peppers separated, unless you don't care if they cross over. Then here's our dwarf tomato box, and I'm seeing some growth. We've been a little nervous about these because we're like, shouldn't they be bigger than this? But wait till I show you in the other box. They're not much bigger than this, and they're actually setting tomatoes. So we've never grown the dwarf varieties, and there's 4 different dwarf ones that we have. But there's a lot to like about them if they work. So then, as you'll see, I have a lot of new cucumbers because Jessica gave me a bunch of new cucumbers. So I just snuck them in, because I'm trellising those up, so they should have plenty of room as long as they can go up the trellis. And some of the ones that she rescued, she gave me, they're a little leggy, but I fed them yesterday. They've had some good rain. Some of them are taking off. A few of them I'm like watching them to see. And then in this bed we added, these are all red bell peppers that she gave me that I put in this bed. And this bed, I put in, I think these are the yellow sensation bell peppers. I just put a couple in this bed because we added a new tomato to this one that we got from the Cartersville Farmers Market. And this one is called a black cherry tomato. And the plant we had here was one of John's, but it was kind of a runt when we put it in, and it just kind of fizzled out. So I took it out and we popped that one in. Really love talking to the master gardeners, and this was one of their favorites. So we got one. Actually, I think I got the last one they had, and we're giving it a try. This cucumber needs to head over that way. And so, and like on my Roma one, I got lots of blooms. Lots of fruit. Romas are good for sauces and salsa. And even on this celebrity, I've got some growing. So that is fun. And then over here, I have my favorite. And that is my beautiful mortgage lifter. It is an indeterminate, so these things get huge. And I changed the cage to one of our old, really stronger cages, and I'll probably end up having to put a bamboo cane in here to help keep it from when it gets more top heavy. But these, you do need to look for, on indeterminates, you do need to look for the suckers and get those off of there. If you have determinates, you don't have to do that. And that's one of the beautiful things I learned about the dwarfs, is you do not have to prune, and you do not take the suckers off. That's how they grow. So they're just a different variety. Daniel's peppers are still doing well, and John's figs from Louise that he transplanted up, these are doing really well. So I think we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 2 in this one, 4, 5. I think we're gonna have 5 new fig plants maybe in the fall that we'll be ready to plant up. And then look at my runner beans. They are fabulous. And I'm not doing anything. Look, once they grabbed hold, it's just going. They're just going up there. So, and I've got all my cantaloupes. They have blooms. The bee balm's looking a little better this week. And my noodle beans, I think they're just waiting for the heat. They are heat loving, and I think they'll go crazy once it gets hot and stays hot. And we have a eggplant. I need to probably stake that. And I thinned out my pie pumpkins, and they're doing pretty good. And these little cucumbers are in their happy zone. They are just flowering, and my zucchinis are really flowering. And I have been watching to see if I need to do some self-pollinating. And the problem I've had thus far, because several of my blooms, is I have not had a female bloom. If I haven't caught her. But these have all been the male blooms so far, and you gotta have both. So I'm hoping, I'm watching. I got me a little handy dandy pollinating paintbrush to do the deed when it arises. Beans are doing pretty well. And potatoes are doing very well. My deer deterrent box is doing its job. It's really pretty too. Sweet potatoes, and seeing all these I was worried about when I planted them. They all have eggplants on them. You can see that eggplant over there. And then in this last one, which was the one that had the beets. Ooh, hi peas. Hi peas. I think all this rain. When they get tall enough, I will help them get up on the trellis. They're just not there yet. But the beets never got true leaves. So I took them out. My son helped me. We started pulling them out and just left them in here to feed the box. And I thinned out my carrots. I had to come through, and the ones that had the true leaves, I thinned them out. And it's not a, well, I guess it's probably, over here it looks better, like a good row, 2 rows like I planted. Over here it's a little more sparse. But I came in the back and I did 4, I think it was 4 pumpkins that are, it's a Haas seed one that you grow just for the pumpkin seeds. We love pumpkin seeds. And so these are grown just for their seeds. And if you can see, you see the little blooms? They're really pretty. The little pea plants are really pretty. My son was telling me peas are such a great thing to put in a bed as a nitrogen fixer. And he said they grow everywhere. And so, and of course our trees, they're all doing well. Louise out there has tons of figs. The brown turkey fig has tons of figs. And hi, Mr. Kitty. I figured he would want to come out. Hi, Mr. Kitty. Hi, Fats. What's up? And if you can see all the zinnias. Now these are my brown-eyed Susans. They're not blooming yet, but they are growing. But my zinnias are so pretty. And these are some different, the yellow and the white are some different varieties. And then I also have some marigolds mixed in. And then this one has some impatiens, begonias, the butterfly bush. I can't remember what that thing is called, but I know it shoots up. It looks really pretty. And the other thing will cascade and flow down over, and I don't remember what it was called either. I have tags somewhere, sorry. It's early. And of course the one flower bed's doing great. So, oh, and this is what I wanted to show you. Sorry, ADHD. Is if you look, you see how big these are. And look at their set fruit. Come over here, has setting fruit. So, these are gonna be super interesting. And I can't wait. I've heard they taste good. So I'm very excited and can't wait to see how they taste, and in comparison to normal sized tomato plants. And some of these also on the dwarf, some of them that we have are indeterminate and some are determinate, and we didn't know that until doing a little more research this week. and which some of them got mixed up, so I guess we'll find out along the way which are which, and which you know, once they're done, and we can pull them out. So, and I still have my hot chili peppers to plant that Jessica gave me. I've got a planter out there. I've got to go get some soil when it's not raining. So this is week 5 inside my raised bed garden tour. I'm going to do a separate video for the in-ground bed. Thanks for checking out this week's growth. See you next time.